Hey guys, today we're going to do another replay analysis. Again, someone from Reddit, Haywire Gorilla here, the Viper, Guardian 2. He asked for some help on the Learn Dota subreddit, and I'm doing this game because I saw that on his other games. You mentioned that, you noticed that you made mistakes and you knew why you lost, or you knew the game was hard. But Viper, this game in particular, you said you didn't know where you went wrong. And I think those are the games where you have the most to learn from. If you lose, but you know why you lost, then you can improve. But if you don't know why you lost, it feels really hopeless. So those are the kind of games I want to focus on. I'm really enjoying making these kind of like replay videos, so I'm probably going to keep doing this, look for people who need help and make these. Hopefully you guys like that. Also, I like that you specifically asked for a few things to focus on, since that makes things easier. If you try to focus too much, on like too many things, then it gets really difficult. It's easier to have like a couple things, so I like that you have that idea. So this is Guardian 2. So what I'm going to do first, I'm going to like look at this draft and kind of lay out how I think the game should go. And this is kind of a real pub / low MR kind of lineup where you have 4 cores. So you don't quite know if you're going to be against Invoker or DK. Both of those matchups, honestly, Ursa can sometimes go mid, but I would expect one of these two to go mid. And both of those matchups are kind of okay. Invoker, you do okay. Invoker can get a lot of regen if he gets a lot of points in Quas, but usually you should be fine. And Dragon Knight, for a while, people thought Viper was the counter to Dragon Knight because you did so much damage and you could break his passive. But then, I forget when, it was a while ago, but people found that like Dragon Knight had just like so much regen, like it just didn't matter. And so then it felt like an even matchup. And that's kind of what this is. Both of you can just farm pretty much. Assuming, equal levels of play. Maybe you play better, maybe you play worse. But in terms of just the hero matchups, it should be okay for you. Your lineup is kind of lacking an initiator. You have a Bristleback here, and Bristleback isn't really an initiator. He kind of just like stands in the front lines. So luckily they don't really have an initiator either. Dragon Knight can build for it, and Ursa is going to want to like get a blink and just jump on people. And Invoker isn't really an initiator, but he can set things up. So they have like a better setup for fights than you guys. But if you guys are doing well, then Witch Doctor has a heal, Dazzle has a heal. You guys can kind of just like go in a straight line and win fights. And you should definitely be stronger in this like early to mid game phase because you have like 2 supports, actual supports, whereas they have 4 cores that need time to get online. They're going to be competing for farm. There's a reason that the games usually only have like 3 cores. It's because there's a limit to how much gold is on the map at any given time, and now these 4 people are going to fight for it. So you have this window where you can just run down together as 5 and take towers, win fights, win the game. So that's kind of the game plan. Hopefully win the laning stage, because usually if you have 2 cores, that usually means they're tilted a bit. One lane should be like losing already, and if someone goes straight to the jungle and goes unpunished, that can be a problem. So you want to do well in the laning phase and then quickly start pushing, going for a win while they're still weak. So let's just get started. Let's see. You didn't buy that ward, right? Yeah, okay. Someone passed you a ward. Alright, unfortunately, don't get shared tangos. That's okay. 1 Iron Branch, that's good. I don't know how I feel about Crown Start, to be honest. For Viper, I know some people do it. I'm assuming you're going for an Atos really quickly. It's okay. +4 stats. That's nice. Viper casts a lot of spells. Intelligence good. He's an agility hero, so agility's good. You get more damage. And then strength, you're a little tankier in lane. But it's 400 gold, right? 450, even more. So thinking just in terms of damage, right now this gave you 4 damage. And let's say you instead bought 2 slippers, which is cheaper and gives you 6 damage. So a lot of times what I would recommend I know if you get like, you're kind of like saving money going for a fast Atos with Crown. If you're really confident, go for it. But if you're not as confident, it's usually better to err on the side of having more early game damage, especially at the very start of lanes. You want as much damage as you can so that you can get last hits, get gold, hopefully get some denies, and start to win like the lane. And especially at lower MMRs where you're more likely to miss CS, I think it's good to prioritize some extra damage. Unfortunately, you had to buy tangos because no one shared some with you. Usually I would say something like maybe 2 slippers of agility, a circlet, and then like an iron branch or 2, and then someone shares tangos with you. Then you finish up 2 wraith bands and a salve, and that gives you a good amount of damage, and then you go into Atos or like boots. I don't know. This is okay, I guess. But I think maybe you'll find it easier if... Oh, I'm critiquing you without seeing it. Maybe you'll get a bunch of last hits. Let's see it. I believe. Alright, this is good. I don't know if I would queue this clarity. Not yet, anyways. Because it's hard to keep it going in lane. Dragonite's melee, sure. But he does have Breathe Fire, I think it's called. That can cancel clarities from afar. Invoker's got range and some spells. Okay, let's see. This guy's got no regen. If he's in your lane, you want to harass him really hard. This guy... I like this. You're checking. That's really good. Checking what items they've got.
Now we get the good stuff. For once, we're in agreement.
Missed the block a little. That's okay. Ended up working out really well for you. Okay, so right now, think about where you positioned yourself, but you still started with corrosive skin. If you're gonna start with corrosive skin, which I generally wouldn't recommend, you want to like be attacked by someone with low attack damage, so that, which Quas Invoker does have. Oh, actually he has a bit more now that he got that buff, but this is like less damage than what you might see. So he'll attack you, and then you return poison damage with corrosive skin. Level 1 is okay. But that means you want to be like out here so that he attacks you and you attack him, and you have the benefit of getting corrosive skin hits on him. But you being back here means that this is doing nothing right now. So instead, you can start with poison attack, which is what I would generally recommend because it's so cheap. 40 mana, really low cost, and it's really good harass. Don't... This is an attack modifier, so you can set it to autocast so that he always uses it whenever it's off cooldown, or you can manually press it yourself. So usually if you attack a hero, you draw aggro to you. Viper has the benefit of being able to cast this, and he won't draw aggro if you actually press Q on Invoker. Even amongst creep waves, they won't aggro to you. So you want to take advantage of that in the first couple waves, and just constantly cast this off cooldown onto Invoker, and you won't take any harass from the creeps. You also don't want to like cause the lane to push too much if the creeps attack you with corrosive skin. Not yet, not off the bat. Okay, so see, you're like far back. You want to be like scaring him because you've got corrosive skin. So you want to like stand over here so that he then... Hold on, I need free camera here. So standing here, he's standing here. You're both just hitting the creeps. But Invoker is not known as a lane bully. You, as Viper, are a lane bully. So you want to be like standing like further up here. I know it's a little scary. But knowing their lineup, especially, they're really not likely to gank you, right? They've got a bunch of cores. And if you had a ward, in this case you don't. Or actually you do, you just haven't placed it yet. If you have the ward, then you feel a lot safer, and you can stand up here and you'll see anyone like coming in to get you, and then you just walk away. But if you stand up here, he will then have to like stand back here because he doesn't want to trade with you. And if he does trade with you, you're a lane bully. You'll win the trade. Well, if you had poison attack, it would be better. But like poison attack and 1 corrosive skin, then yeah, stand up here, attack him. Whenever he comes up to trade with you, just hit him back. You've got, your poison attack, your passive, and you'll win that trade, and you'll scare him away from these creeps, and then you'll be able to deny and get last hits for free. See, like right here, if you had poison attack and you see him and you just like cast it. I know I'm saying that a lot, but like that's what you want to do, which is why I'm mentioning it. The problem with like this is a lot of people do max Nethertoxin early, but the problem with using it in lane early is it's got a bit higher of a mana cost, and like you saw here, he just walks out. That would be the good thing about having poison attack as well. You slow him, he spends a little more time. But honestly, just using it level 1 to harass, he'll just like walk out, and it's not a huge deal. Whereas poison attack, you'll do more. But you can push a wave with it. Let me see what you're gonna do. You're gonna hit the creep wave. Okay, what instead I recommend, if you want to get Nethertoxin early and push, which maybe this is something that you can do with this lineup, as opposed to having a poison attack, because now that you have 2 points of Nethertoxin this quickly, you'll push the wave really quickly. See the time? It was like 1:30 before you hit this tower, and you pushed it straight under tower, and it was 1:30. Maybe you have time. You're kind of a slow hero, but come stack this camp. If you push the wave under their tower and you don't want to be here, this first few hits on the tower aren't like a huge deal. It's nice, but what's nicer is coming over here, stacking this camp, and then seeing the rune. Are you gonna do that? Maybe you are. No, see. Oh, wait, you do. I take that all back. I'm sorry. Even better, you double stack. I take it all back, Haywire Gorilla. You knew better than me. You even got some hits on tower. This one unfortunately got blocked by these guys walking through, I think. But this is still nice. How do I feel about this? Right now I'm thinking, like, you got this crown, I'm assuming, to, like, rush for Atos, but now you're getting boots. And boots are nice, but if you're going to take the time to, like, get boots, you might as well take the time to, like, get a Wraith Band and, like, get that early damage and improve your lead like that. You kind of want to, like, be slot efficient. And even if you fill this with like another crown and then like the Rod of Intelligence, then you're going to finish Atos and it's all going to go to one slot, and you're going to have a bunch of empty slots, which could be Wraith Bands. And again, you're pushing the wave, and see how he like feels safe to like come in and auto attack? He shouldn't feel safe like that. You were Viper, you were scary. Come stand over here. Do not let him like just come up and attempt to get denies and last hits for free like that. Go back. This is the camp that's stacked. I think this is the one you want to clear first. At this point, it's a little scary. The damage Invoker has now is now kind of comparable to you, because you don't. He has like the Null Talisman that you never got, which is giving him 6 damage, which compared to your 4 damage, and some Spell Lamp for him. But he also has like these exort points, and he's using Alacrity. So without Alacrity, he would have a little less. But now he has the attack damage advantage on you. Whereas early game, if you had gotten more damage, you would have a little more damage than him. He started 50 at level 1, and you with your crown started about 50. If you had gotten some other items, you could be like 54-ish, 55-ish, which sounds like really minimal, I know. But pushing that advantage, like, you'll get a last hit that just a bit before he might have, and that like small increments is what builds the lead up to make things easier, especially if you then finish the Wraith Band, finish the second Wraith Band, then your damage is like comparable, and you can not only trade in terms of like straight up damage, but also then your like passive, all of your spells. Then you can make use of that. So see how you only just used your clarity, despite buying it at like 0 something. Instead of buying that clarity, you could use it to finish off the Wraith Band if you like did that build I mentioned earlier. And now around like 3 minutes, buy your clarity and bring it in. It's like using the gold more efficiently instead of just like holding on to it that whole time. He didn't break your thing. Your clarity. I forgot I should be on perspective. Here's the thing. It's really hard to kill Invoker for you because you don't have a stun and because he has that invis. And again, because you don't even, like you don't have your Atos yet. Of course you don't. You know, it's only 4 minutes, not your fault. But he's just going to walk out. And without your ult, which has way more movement slow than anything else you have right now, most heroes could just walk away from you. So instead, I suggest using that invisibility to go gank top. Probably not bottom because the invis was top, so it's like a short distance further. If you had your boots, this is kind of the problem with low MMRs too. The courier goes everywhere instead of just being with you in mid. If you had your boots, you'd be a lot faster. It would be quicker to get to top. Look how close they are to this tower. It would be a lot easier to get a kill top because you have your teammates to help you, as opposed to Invoker who can just walk out. Second crown. It's kind of okay. 5 minutes. Are you gonna stack? Get the rune? Oh, you kind of forgot about it. Oh, you kind of remembered. Okay, cool. It's still there. I do like the mangoes purchase to keep up mana. I'd be a little scared to pop clarity as you're about to walk up to their hill. You never know who's gonna be there. I suggest like getting to that top of the hill and then pop it. You started with your W. Let your guy stun first. Let him pop it. Or, sorry, let me go so that that sound's not just going the whole time. Let him throw out his stun first, and then you throw out your W. Or like right before his Q hits, then you throw the W. That's just to max out the time that Invoker will stay in your Nethertoxin, as opposed to you saw he just walked out before the stun even hit him. Why? There we go. You've also not been using your tangos. I really recommend. So right now we're at like 6 minutes. You've got like all your tangos, which is not really. Should I? Yeah, okay, we're gonna do it. We're gonna go back. Is this the first wave? A little further back. This very first wave. Next time you play Viper, try this out, okay? You are gonna come up here to like this side. Maybe even their high ground. Let me free camera this. You're gonna start Q. The second you see the guy, you're gonna Q him, and you're gonna walk up as if you're gonna attack him. See what he does. If he tries to auto attack you, then you auto attack him. And as he backs away, follow and try to get another auto attack off. Walk back, plant your iron branch, and tango the tree. The point of this is to immediately start making use of your items, to start regenning and start bullying them. Invoker had no regen items whatsoever. This is really bad. I noticed this when I checked up here at the start, and then I forgot to mention it. This guy has no regen items. That's exactly why you want to start Q, you want to stay over here, and you just want to bully him out. Like I was mentioning bullying him, assuming he had a normal amount of regen items, like a mid laner should. The fact that he has absolutely none means you want to come over here and you want to crush this guy. You know why? Because you at least have 3 tangos. Yeah, he has Quas, but right now Quas is giving him like 2.1 regen. You have 2.6 like already. And when you plant this iron branch and you eat it with the tango, you're gonna get way more health. which he can't even do. He doesn't even have a tango to eat a normal tree. You're going to keep trading, and then you're going to eat normal trees too, because you still have 2 more tangos. And this guy's just going to have to rely on quas. So yeah, you want to be like over here bullying this guy. Instead of like keeping the distance here between creeps, you want it to be like you're here, he's over here, and when he walks in, you press Q on him so that you do not draw the creep aggro. And then the melee creeps would have met, if I recall, the melee creeps were about here, range creep is about here. If you stand over here, around here, the melee creeps won't aggro to you even if you do a normal auto attack. The range creep will, but it's not a big deal because you have regen, he doesn't. You're going to start your Q, you're going to hit him. Maybe the range creep attacks you if you start also auto attacking after that. But you're going to crush the lane because this guy is not going to be able to do anything. And like honestly, I could stop the replay analysis here. I could tell you like this guy got way too much out of lane for not starting with any regen. And if you just play more aggressively like up here, I think in the day 9 series that Purge did with him, there was one episode where Purge was gone and Blitz stepped in to teach day 9 how to mid lane, and that's pretty much what Blitz was covered the entire time too. He's like, you need to be like super aggressive and just scare people out, because that's what Viper is doing, and you are not doing that as Viper, and that's making your game way harder. Like whatever happens in mid to late game, Invoker should not have been like there yet. He should be like behind, which he's not right now. Okay, spending a lot of time talking on that, sorry. So I'm going to skip forward a bit. We're going to go a little faster now, because I think I've made my point about the laning and everything. And what you're doing inherently isn't wrong. Like, you are stacking and pulling and everything. That's all really good. It was just a matter of not being aggressive enough to start off. And if you had done that, then you would be this level, maybe a bit higher, and Invoker would be behind instead of where he is now. Why can't I click him there? Replays are weird. And this guy's like rushing Midas. He hasn't bought anything. So like you should be able to like do these trades and like scare him away. Okay, back to you. So for your small, actually I'll recover it at the end. I'll give you some points to focus on. But one of them is going to be laning and thinking about checking their regen, which you saw he had no regen, and then you didn't like take advantage of it. So I'm gonna like stop focusing on the laning stage now, because I think that's the biggest takeaway, and now we're just gonna like zoom along a little faster, see some overarching gameplay. Let's see how your team's doing actually real quick. I've been looking at you this whole time. Right now, 4-9. I'm not that surprised. Usually that happens when there's like a 4-core lineup. Let's pull out this. Not that you would have access to this, but you are at the top. You have been stacking, which is really good. So I'm not surprised you have the top net worth, even without any kills. But look, Invoker here, he's the top on his team, not that far behind you. He really shouldn't be. He should really be like somewhere down here, maybe a little higher. He should not be like anywhere near you if you play out that like level 1 wave and waves after that, being a bit more aggressive, abusing the fact that he has no regen. But overall, your team is in the lead. You are winning, I would say. So in terms of what I mentioned earlier, you want to get a good start and like start taking over towers and winning. That like you're on track right now as a team. And you should even have that feeling, like 4-9, taking a look at who has the kills. Witch Doctor and Dazzle have a couple kills. That makes them pretty well off, honestly, as supports. And he should be a little higher level, maybe. But it's whatever, he's like, okay. Try to swap out, drop your Atos. Either drop the Atos or like backpack it real quick and put it back in before you eat the mangoes. Long story short, mangoes restore a flat amount of mana, but how do I explain this easily? Right now you're at 600 mana roughly, right? And you take a mango, you get back like what is it now? 125. And so you've restored 125 out of 600. If you remove your Atos, which has 20 intelligence, and you'll note that's like roughly half of your intelligence right now, so it'll drop down your mana to about 400 because you have a base mana pool as well. Then your mango still restores 125, which is then like 125 out of 400. These numbers are like really rough. Math on the fly is not my strong suit. But then you put the Atos back in, and the way the game works, it then extends the percentage of mana you have. So instead of 125 out of 400, and you push it up to 600, 125 out of 400 is roughly like 25-30%. So it keeps you at 30%, and so it would put you at like 200 mana, something like that. And so that way you're getting a little bit more out of your mangoes. In that case, walk closer to the tower. See how you were far away and you were both auto-attacking at like full range? If you walk closer to the tower, your projectile, in fact, let's slow it down. I said I would slow it down and I didn't slow it down enough. Damn it! Alright, this time for sure, guys. You know what they say, third or fourth time's the charm. Alright, a little faster. Okay. Right here. Both of your attacks are in the air. His, by timing, is a little faster, so this isn't great. But imagine if you were standing right next to the tower. Even though he attacked first and his attack is almost there, yours would immediately hit the tower because you're standing right here. And then you would get this tower last hit. So this works with creep last hits too. Keep in mind that your projectiles have to travel, and that by being closer to what you're hitting, you improve your chances that you will be the one to hit it first and get that last hit. So like in this case, you've both attacked, but his projectile has already traveled farther because he was attacking earlier, but you could have overcome that if you were standing next to it and making it so that your attack had no distance to travel at all. He gets the deny. Not game losing. It's not ideal though. Especially because I know you don't have the mana for it right now really, but like he should be scared. He should be thinking, I get Atos, I get ulted, he Nethertoxins me, kills me, it's scary. But instead he's able to just stand there and attack it. But if you posture forward, stand near the tower, make it so it looks like, oh, I'm just going to kill you. He's going to back away, that kind of thing. Alright. A little faster, you got a haste, you're looking for a kill, but keep in mind, you don't have all your mana. You don't... you can Atos and ult, maybe? But the whole point of Atos is that you get a longer time in Nethertoxin. So what, you Atos and Nethertoxin, maybe Q, but then you don't ult. So, this haste is nice, but you need a bit more mana to like make use of it. So possibly what you could do, is your shrine up? Yeah, the shrine's up. Just come up shrine. This guy would love it too. Shrine and immediately run to top lane and look for a gank. Your haste would still be going. How much time do you have on it? Yeah, you still have a good amount. If you picked up that haste, immediately shrined, and then started going, let's see. A little further back. Can I do this in game? Oh, I can't. So instead of running here, you'd be running to shrine. Around this time, you would be hitting shrine. You still got 3/4 left. Now you definitely can't gank anyone with it. Yeah, you don't have enough mana. TP bottom? Okay. Alright. That worked out. I don't know if that should have. I don't think anyone has detections. Or did that just go too fast for me to notice? I guess you did have Zeus. Oh, but Zeus isn't here. So, you want someone on your team to have detection. And you yourself can even carry Dust, because you know you can kill Invoker anytime you Atos him, as long as he doesn't Invis. So if you hold on to some Dust, then you can guarantee those kills. Ursa's here. What's he doing here? Alright. You guys are grouping and getting towers. I like it. Spell Steal. That's the one. Just kill this guy too. I don't know what he's doing. Alright. Looking good, man. Let's see what happens. You're definitely right in your post. This is definitely winnable at this point. How do I feel about this Greaves purchase? Yeah, I think it's okay. Possibly consider, instead of... What I'm going to guess is you were just, like, quick buying it in order, whatever is coming up as you have the money. Consider the fact that Headdress gives you, like, 2 regen, but not a lot of stats to your allies. And, think about who you have. You have Witch Doctor and Dazzle. They have tons of heal already. So instead, next time, it's a little more expensive, but consider buying the Buckler first, because the Buckler passive... Can I not look at it from here? Where is it? Here. Buckler passive. You get 5 armor. Great. You get 2 attributes, which the Headdress also had. And then your active is to give 2 armor to all allied seconds. Which, remember what you're trying to do? You're trying to group and push. Buckler is great for that. Gives everyone some armor. You could even buy a casual Ring of Basilius. That would help with your mana issues. Give you a bit more damage. And not only help your mana issues, but since you want a group, you want everyone to have enough mana, enough health. Heal is covered by Dazzle and Witch Doctor. Sorry, I'm about to like cough or something, but it's like not happening. Ring of Basilius, just a little bit nicer. Get the armor to everyone, the regen to everyone. It's a very great pushing item. And I'm not really sure who else would get it. Maybe Bristleback if he was getting a Vlad's, or a support could grab it too. But you can definitely afford to get like a casual Basilius to push, I think. That's just a small itemization thing, a little like efficiency. How do I get rid of that? There we go. I don't know. The hotkeys like don't work. My hotkeys like don't work great on the replay. I'm going too fast. Sorry. Let's go back a little. I feel like you should be getting your kill here. Alright, you're Atosing way too early. Because, look, the Atos is about to expire. You're still not in range. Atos has a really long range, which is great for chasing people. But in this case, go ahead and just wait till you, like, circle around, drop a spell, and then Atos. I also don't know if Invoker is your target. I mean, he would be, generally, but you don't have detection still. And, he's just gonna go invis and walk away. And then, you know, what are you gonna do? But this Dragonite cannot do that. So go ahead and just kill the Dragonite, you know? Focus on him. Here's what I would recommend. If you were ganking, if I was doing this gank, I would... Okay, if I was doing the gank, I would walk in. Who's coming? Someone on your team is here. Bristleback. But he's still kind of far. I don't really want to wait for him. You're strong enough to not wait for him. So I would walk right over here. You still have tangos, actually. You could walk here and cut this tree. Usually you can't do that, though. So you would walk around. And again, like I said, it'd be nice to kill Invoker, but he is under tower. It'd be pretty hard. You have to kill him under this tower. What you would have to do is Nethertoxin like right around here so that he's under it. As he tries to back away, then you Atos him so that he's still under tower range. You ult, you Q him, and hope that your auto attacks and your spells finish him off before he can go invis and leave tower range. The safer pick would probably be to just ult this guy. Ult him if he looks like he's just going to back away and try to run. Nethertoxin so that he has to run through the entire Nethertoxin. Don't forget to auto-attack him too after you ult. And then, depending how much damage that did, honestly I would expect it to almost kill him. You could Atos him to keep him in Nethertoxin if it looks like you don't have enough damage, or just keep auto-attacking, and save the Atos for if he starts to try to teleport away, because you can't stop that with any of your abilities. To see he like awkwardly Atos, can't do anything, ult this guy, and you kind of like gave away your position before you were able to cast anything. Now this guy just like goes invis, and DK also got out. So that should have been at least 1, maybe 2 kills. Like if you kill Invoker under this tower, maybe you're then able to kill DK, but instead they both get away. Now you're buying detection. You just need to buy 1 set. Later you might need to buy another set, but just buy the 1 set at a time. Because this is 180 gold in the second set that you're not going to use until you go through the first 2. And cutting like as close gold wise as you can, like maybe you can just about finish the buckler. Hold on, wait, where am I going with this? Let me think about this. There will be cases where you get killed and you like just didn't have enough gold to buy an item or something. So by getting in the habit of spending as little gold as possible as you can on these kind of consumables at any given moment will make sure that you have the best chance of having enough gold to buy what you need when you need it. I don't know, I can't see team chat, right? You should probably call your team to come group with you. Tell them like, hey guys, I want to push. I'm really strong right now. Can we group up and just take towers?
That's for me.
Atos. Or not Atos, Arcanes. You're low on mana. Drop your Atos, Arcanes, pick up the Atos again. These are... You have a lot of like very hopeful Nethertoxins, and then you use them to like harass or like get some damage for like a second. And it's 100 mana. It's a lot. Notice like how many clarities you've had to get, and how much like how low on mana you were earlier. That gank you couldn't do because you didn't have enough mana. Reducing the amount of like Nethertoxins you just throw out will help you preserve the amount of mana you have, which will then let you accomplish other stuff. Keep forgetting to switch to your perspective. That fight was kind of awkward. You guys were like past their tower without any vision. I would not recommend going that far usually. Just like take the towers. That's your focus right now. It's good. You're looking around though. Checking what items people have. Do this a little faster. When you teleport out, you'll still have the fountain buff on you, so you're still regenerating mana. If you cast something spell immediately, then you'll continue to regen as if you were in fountain, and that way you would still be on like full mana after casting 1 Nethertoxin. But instead you cast it after the buff had ended, so then it's like 100 mana that you now don't have and aren't regenning quickly. Which doesn't seem like a huge deal because you're at full, and technically right now it's not a big deal, but maybe later you'd be like closer to the end, and you'd be like, man, I wish I had like 100 mana. Gotta hit the healing ward. Gotta hit the healing ward. That healing ward, worth a lot of money. If nothing else, hit it for the money. But it's also going to heal everyone. It's very effective. If you notice in the stats after games, Juggernauts tend to have like very high healing. I would bet, without knowing anything at all for the rest of this game, this Juggernaut is going to have the highest healing in this game, even with a Witch Doctor and a Dazzle. That's how good Healing Ward is if used properly. So we'll see if that comes true. But that's why you want to hit it as quickly as you can. I'm on your perspective, right? That's kind of awkward. Try to move your camera a bit more. To like see more of the fight. A lot of your screen is like over here.
Hello, this is Gabe Newell. Thanks for playing Dota 2.
Yeah, I think you're using edge panning right now, where you use like your mouse to like push to the sides. You can do that. Really, it comes down to preference. You could also consider like using middle mouse or something to pan. I like this a lot. I used to edge pan too, and I still do for like larger movements, but now I use this a lot for like team fights. That way my mouse like stays where it is, and I think that's why like your perspective was here, is because you were like clicking something and didn't want to like push it and like come back. But that's where edge panning is great, because like say you were clicking here, you click edge pan, mouse is still here, and then you can still like use this if you want. Up to you, completely up to preference, but you want to be like looking in the fight, so whatever helps you get that done, whether it's keeping in mind to try to like edge pan more, or using middle mouse or something. It doesn't have to be middle mouse either. You can bind it to whatever you want. Middle mouse is just the most natural for me, and I think it's default too. They've kind of caught up a bit. Right now, I would be feeling like, we kind of threw our lead a bit, but we can still win. We just need to pull it back together. But it's feeling worse now. Especially because you have mech right now. Mech is plenty. Greaves are great, but honestly, mech more than enough to start grouping, pushing, telling your team, hey guys, I've got mech, let's just go together, push. And I'm gonna guess you guys just don't push enough, and like they have 4 cores. That's bad usually, but if they don't get punished for time, which is what happens a lot in low MMRs, then they're gonna outscale you guys because they have 4 cores and you have 3. And these are pretty good cores too. Invoker, really good late game. Juggernaut's pretty solid late game, I would say. Dragon Knight, now with his Ags, I haven't seen enough to know, but I would say this guy's pretty good too. Ursa kind of drops off a little bit. But Zeus, good late game. You and Bristleback are like, okay, you know? And Shaman, great late game. Dazzle, Witch Doctor, But early game, you guys are great. So this 20-minute window, I would say you have like 10 more minutes. 10 more minutes to like really put yourself in a position to win. And then like another 10 minutes to close the win. If it goes beyond that, I think it's a loss. Actually, I know it's a loss, because I know you lost this game, but you blocked the camp because of time. You guys want to be getting runes too. You've got 2 towers, so you have like better map control, and you want to get these runes. Instead of like 4 of you are middle. Nice. That's a case where the long-range Atos is good. Sometimes try to hold it a little longer, though. Especially in these ganks you were doing. I realize you were like stunned and shackled and everything for a lot of that, but try to mech a little bit sooner, because when you use it, not only does it heal you, it gives you 2 armor, And 2 armor doesn't sound like a lot, but it's a game of increments. So taking all those hits, but with 2 extra armor, would negate a decent amount of damage. And maybe you live, maybe you die still, but using it a bit sooner is good. And take a look at this. You still have this Tango. That kind of just shows that you didn't play aggressive enough early to use up all your Tangos. You want to use the regen you buy. You buy consumables to consume them. So make sure you are aggressive enough, and like usually you have this mindset of like, oh, I don't want to take too much damage, and because I took damage, I will now Tango. You want to think like, I have these Tangos. I can take a certain amount of damage to make use of them. How I take that damage is up to you. Whether you take it because the Invoker just like pokes at you, or whether you take it because you're trading and zoning him out. Kind of think of your health as a resource as well, and not just something to like always keep at full. You could be looking around right now. You have in the past. At the moment, you're not. Try to like always be looking around. Like there's a fight going on here. You want to like take a look, see if like, oh, do I need to TP in and like rush over to help him?
I'll take that as tribute.
In fact, what's going on? Is it just like bugged? No, okay. Because it looked like you were like clicking stuff, but I wasn't seeing anything.
Tower is under attack.
Okay, you get the healing ward that time. That's good. And that's where your dust is coming into play. Good placement there. I like that. That was a good placement, making him choose to like run back to get out of it more, or to like take more damage running forward. He should have still, his choice should have been to take more damage, because he's definitely dead if he runs back into you. But that's a good play on your part. He messed it up. Okay, things are looking good at the moment. You guys are fighting under the tower, which is a bit scary, but they're also kind of winning it. Use that sooner. I know that seems obvious in hindsight, but like when you guys were all here, feel free to pop it. It doesn't have to be when you are low, right? Ideally, it just needs to be enough to heal 275. Just go ahead, use it quickly, start it on cooldown, help out your buddies, get that armor. It's good. Alright, this guy's chasing too far.
Dominating, I guess.
Witch Doctor got it. Damn. What a guy. Alright, let's reevaluate again. You guys have lost all your outer towers, and in that time you have only taken T2 mid, which isn't bad. It's a good tower to get. I don't know if you should have necessarily lost the other tier 1s though, and you definitely should have the top tier 1 at this point. In terms of winning, still pretty good. You guys are in the lead. Not as much as you would want to be, honestly, but you still have a chance to win. And I would say you still can win if you group enough and push. I think you're looking at items, and my thing's just like not looking. Like I can't see you open it, but I think that's what you're doing. Try to like look around still though. Because right now I'm thinking, like I was telling you, you want to try to like be looking to finish this game. And if you look at your items, you only have 2 actual items. Good items. But like your slot, like you have this mango. You have a clarity. They don't give you anything. Or this gives you a bit of regen, right? But this is like another case for like having those wraith bands early. That would be 2 extra slots. Bit more health, damage, mana. Maybe that casual Basilius. Make use of all the slots. You only need to like clarity for a second. So like when you need to clarity, just swap it in with the Basilius, pop the clarity, swap it back out. Same with the mango. Pop it in, drop the Atos and the Guardian Greaves, or swap those to your backpack. Eat the mango for efficiency, put them back in. You just want to like make use of these slots. So like right now I'm looking at, you want to get an Aghanims, which is again only going to take one slot, and it's going to go here. Maybe for a while you fill it with like 2 of these components, but at the end you're going to have an Ags, 3 slots, and you're using 2 slots for like a mango and a clarity. And itemization isn't just about gold efficiency, it's about slot efficiency. So that's kind of the case for getting some early game items. Maybe even a like magic stick, magic wand. You know, Invoker has his EMP, which steals your mana. So a wand could be good in that case. And he casts a ton of spells. These guys all use a lot of spells. So you get a lot of charges and it'd be nice. But in terms of Ags, I think maybe BKB is better. Because you want to look to finish the game. BKB lets you ignore Invoker and Shadow Shaman, and to a certain extent Dragonite, and then just lets you fight. Hurricane Pike could also be good. You're kind of the tower hitter, so having a Dragon Lance to be able to hit it from afar, even just the casual Dragon Lance would be nice to hit the towers. But then also if you do finish it into Hurricane Pike, lets you kite out Ursa, lets you get out of Ice Wall. Nah, I don't really like Yules. Yashakaya, also pretty solid for Viper. I like Yashakaya at this point better than Ags. Ags... what do I want to say here? Like, Zeus has so much magic damage, right? You don't... like, this guy's got magic immunity. You don't necessarily want to, like, all hop onto the magic train. By getting Yashakaya, yeah, you use some magic, and it helps in that sense. But you also get the Yasha, which helps with your right clicks. Gives you more diversity on the team. And considering that Dazzle reduces their armor, you know, you do want some right click damage. And Bristleback also has an armor reduction, so keep those in mind. The item you want right now is something that helps you fight and push towers. And Aghanims, I'm not convinced is that item right now. Let's speed up again. I know this video is going to end up being like an hour or two. An hour. Let's speed forward because I know I'm feeling nothing much is going to happen. I'm speeding along. I'm sure there's like some stuff I could say, but I already have the feeling that that group push isn't coming. Maybe I'm being too harsh. Let's see. You guys are all bottom. Is this it? Is this the push? I'm also zooming along right now because I feel like I already said a lot early game, and like if you were winning more right now, this would all be easier. And so me critiquing a bunch right now would all become useless if you like had a bigger advantage early, and I'd be saying different things. Get the tower. See, like, you guys don't have the best pick-off. Like, as I'm sure you've noticed right now, Witch Doctor's the only stun. And yeah, you've got Atos, but, like, it's really difficult to get a pick-off without more stuns. But you guys are great at pushing. And great at grouping. And you guys are really split up right now. So, also note your 3 empty slots right now could be Wraith Bands. It helps, I promise. Or even if it's not Wraith Band, like, some other small term items. You want a mix of late game items and small term, or let me re-say that. You want some small items, medium items, big items to transition through. Viper by chance happens to like a lot of those late game items, which is tough, but you do need to find a way to like slot in either some small items or medium items to like make use of these slots. Pretty close to Ags though. I'm hoping you guys group up and push after that. None of you guys are gonna pause for Witch Doctor, huh? That's harsh. You guys aren't really... I haven't been watching the rest of your team, so I don't know. But I feel like you happen to like see the rune was there and you just like take it. You really want to prioritize runes. Really go for them as they happen. Let's speed forward. I have no idea when this Witch Doctor's going to return. And this sneak peek. Looks like this game's another half hour. So let's zoom along. Why did I just lose a bunch of FPS? Oh, there we go. Alright. You guys aren't great at doing Roshan, which is unfortunate. That's kind of a draft issue, where you guys don't really have anyone who can do Roshan well to help you end the game. So the enemy kind of like can do it whenever they want, which is unfortunate.
Double damage.
You're never... I'm not going to say never. Maybe you will. But it's like really hard to get these kind of solo kills as Viper at this point against these guys. Like, Ursa ults and gets out of Atos. He spins. He goes invis. This guy's really tanky. You could kill him, sure. Probably. Maybe he hexes you and shackles you and then his team backs him up. But it's pretty hard for you to get solo pickoffs. You need someone on your team. So being alone like this isn't really... Unless you're farming, it's not really... Like, you're not going to be able to do much. Try to be with your team, which they're about to get in a fight here and you're like up here. Runes. Also, another reason you need to be with your team, you're the guy with the Guardian Greaves. They need to be like grouped around you, or you need to be with them, which is really two ways to say the same thing, which is gotta be grouped. This guy... This is something that's hard to make the call for at lower MMRs. It's like, sometimes someone's dead, you just gotta leave. Don't even stay for them, you know? You were dead there, that Dazzle's just gotta, like, walk out. Somehow doesn't die, but, he should've, I think, there. So, once he knows you're dead, he should just, like, leave. That's nothing to do with you, but... Actually, to an extent, you did want to, like, go help your team, even though the fight was lost. At that point, you just gotta, like, get out. Look how awkward this is. 2 minutes later, the runes just pick them up. That's something you won't see as you go higher. People will prioritize getting those, and I recommend you take advantage of that and you start being the guy who starts prioritizing that in your games. It really is a lot of gold. What you picked up there was like 2,000 gold for your team. Okay. This is awkward. Yeah, this feels really awkward. You're getting BKB now, that's good though. you're at the point where I'm saying this feels awkward because if I was in this game as Viper, I would know it's still possible to win, and I would still be trying to win, of course, telling my team we can do it, but I would be dead inside. I would be feeling like we have missed our window, and in fact, I think I said it, right? You had 10 minutes to set yourself up into a position to win and another 10 minutes to do it, to like finish it out, and there's 1 minute left on that clock when I said that, and they're hitting your T4s or your T3s. So the reason I was saying it's awkward is because like I don't know what to say now, because like to me I know this game is over. I don't know how much longer the game goes on. A lot somehow, but not only since I know you said you lost, but like I can see it in this game at this point. You've lost. How do they not win right here? How is there 20 more minutes in this replay? You really hold here? That's mind-boggling. I mean, I say that. Okay, I said all of that. But because you are lower MMR, people throw all the time. So you technically, you have a better chance of winning than if I was in this situation. Because at my level, the enemy team is not going to throw their lead. And they're going to close it out really quickly. But at lower MMRs, you have much better chance to make these kind of comebacks. And you do want to fight now. They are at 4. Ursa's dead, so it's 4v5. But I think you're feeling right now the damage problems your team has now. Because DK has gotten his BKB, and they've gotten some items to be stronger. I think you're realizing like how hard it is to get kills. Okay, but you wipe them. Man, this game's exciting. I love watching these kind of games. Because it's like I said, I don't know how they throw, because they like take your racks and are at your T4s. But then you wipe them and now you're here at their T3s. It's fun. It's not necessarily like how things should go, but let's see what happens here. This guy goes in solo. Ult him, ult him. Don't wait, just ult. You got the Ags to lower the cooldown, man. So just like pop it. The second you see someone BKB, pop them. That's the whole point of Viper Ags, is that he can put it on anyone who BKBs. So you see someone, you don't think you can get the kill, just pop it. Who cares? Make use of your Ags. Scare him. Yeah, you guys got the racks. This is an okay time to back out. Because they are still dead, so I do feel like I'm looking to see if you guys can push it more. But now is a good time to get out, get this shrine. You finished BKB, which is good. You should probably have your Dustin instead of Clarity's. Because you want to make sure you get any invis kills, but what's the point of like thank goodness I can instantly pop Clarity the second I need it, you know? It's not really important. Let's speed up a bit again. Sometimes it's just fun to watch Dota and I like sit here quietly like watching the game, but should be talking. Ult him, ult him. Ult him. Ult that guy. Ult anyone. Ult him. Alright, actually I don't want you to ult that guy because he was like dead for sure. That case, not needed. Conflicting, I know, but at this point you've got like really good mana. You know, you've got these items, you've been holding these Clarities, you've got supports with Arcane Boots. Just spam your stuff. It lasts a long time too. 5 seconds. 10-second cooldown, you know, that's half. It's really good. Really cheap too, under 25. Look at you. Alright, at this point I'm just remembering again that you're supposed to lose this game. And let's see it. Do you really? Did you debate me? Are you gonna mega them? You don't have any creeps. Because you guys didn't kill, despite being in their base, you didn't like clear out the creep waves, and so now their creep waves have like pushed you out. Which makes this. You guys aren't the kind of people that can get through backdoor. So you guys had to like clear out some of these creep waves. And now you're in here too long trying to do this. And this guy got distracted. Maybe it was possible with all of you hitting it. But you guys kind of like lost focus a bit there. But that's okay. You put yourself in a great spot. All but 1 Rax. So definitely could still win. You're back into the winning seat, my man. Oh no. Oh, that was scary. That was close. Why did he just go invis? Does this guy have a Shadow Blade? I do not feel this is the build on a Zeus. I am no offlane Zeus player, but actually I just realized he was safe lane, wasn't he? Man, this game was weird.
Feeling good, man.
Did you need to buy back? You had 4 people here against 3. But they're in the middle lane. And you've already lost Rax in the middle lane. And in fact, your T2s are still up. So the only thing they can do is like go for T4s. T4, because you lost one already, and the throne. This guy is dead, but his ult is also down anyways. I don't think you guys had to buy back here. And that's nothing you can control. I don't know if you guys were talking about it and someone called for it, but if that did happen, this is where you'd say, I don't think you guys need to buy back. You got Nethertoxin, it's decent cast range. This guy's Zeus, he can spam spells out. Use Nimbus, because he has Ags, I believe, right? Yeah, use Nimbus, use his Q. Clear out the creep wave. This guy will just sit in the back. He doesn't contribute anything to that. But I feel you guys can clear it out really well. I don't think it was necessary for anyone to buy back. And if you guys are going to lose, it's probably going to be on the back of them getting picked off and not having buyback. That's my guess, I guess. Now you guys are grouped. If you guys had done this 20 minutes earlier, I think you'd be feeling a lot better about the game. Oops, I'm the wrong guy. I was just following along. Bots. I don't think you need to buy this quite yet. One, because you still have a slot. I know you have Dust for invisibility, but at this point, these guys should be carrying a lot of invis, and Zeus is in the match. He's true sight everywhere. So really, Dust is not so important for you right now, so I would really recommend having another item. And the other reason you don't really want bots is because, like, think about why you buy bots, is to be very versatile, to be all over the map. But right now, you don't really want to be solo, because you are in the lead. And these guys, pretty scary. Juggernaut can ult you. Ursa can just like keep Fury swiping you down. Invoker, setup, you get shackled, hexed by Shaman, you know. Being solo is very scary for you right now. And so you don't really want to be split pushing alone and then botsing into your team with these boots of travel. So instead, it's also awkward because you got Greaves. So now you're like double boots. Sometimes you need that, but it does feel awkward. So for 2,000 gold, what else could you have gotten? You could have saved for buyback, which is what I would recommend first of all in a close game like this. You're the mid laner, you're a core, you gotta have buyback. Shiva's really good. 3 right clickers. Shiva's real good. It's kind of late for a Hurricane Pike, but it does kind of feel okay. I kind of like E-Blade, honestly. You see Ursa going on someone, E-Blade that guy. Juggernaut ults you, E-Blade yourself. I like that a lot right now, actually. Scythe, also very good. That would give you some solo kill potential, although still I wouldn't really recommend it. I would recommend being with your team. But Scythe is nice. Halberd, also pretty good. I know it's a strength item, but look how many right clickers they got. They're the ones that'll kill you. Halberd them, you're good. It also gives you some evasion, so they can't, even if you don't get the disarm off, they won't just hit you. Yashikaya, also good. I said that earlier, I think. I would still be okay with it being bought now. Maybe Octarine. Assault Cuirass feels okay. I don't really like Orchid Bloodthorn. Yeah. Like, at this point, you guys have everything. I don't think they should have been able to get Roshan. I know I said you guys aren't good Roshan killers, but at this point, it's late enough the game where you guys can do it. And considering how much of the map you guys should be in control of, like, this isn't you, but why are there wards over here? Like, they have one thing left. The support should keep all the vision on their side. And even though it's not your job at this point, that's something you should be thinking about. It's like, why are we looking for defensive? Why do we have this defensive vision here? Good, ult him. Nice. I like it. It's down again. Ult him. Good. Greaves. Your team's all low. Greaves. Aww. I think you probably just forgot about it. Greaves early, man. This is scary a bit. They should get out. It's not worth it. Get out. You guys aren't right clickers. No. Cool. So like you took all the racks earlier, right? You should get the shrine too. Just like close out your map positioning or close out your map control. And then Zeus should just cast W everywhere. Let's pause real quick. What hotkey is it? Does it not work when I'm using player perspective? Let's take a look at their wards. This is a really common ward spot. This is pretty common. They don't happen to have any others. Zeus should be getting those. You guys just want to group as a team. Tell your guys, hey guys, let's all move together, get some vision down, and deward them. You go wherever you start. You guys were here, so you can go this way. Go this way. Zeus, spams bolt everywhere. Play some wards. Make your way over here. Same thing. Get the shrine. Solidify your grip on the game. Once you get this down, you can get Roshan if it hadn't already been gotten. And then you're good. They're trapped on their half of the map. Whenever they leave, you see them. You all go as a group. Kill someone. You can push. They buy back. Back off. Repeat. Look for someone alone. Get them. Go back. Oops. Like, this guy should not be able to, like, clear out wards alone. You guys should be, like, in control, scaring them. I forgot to take a look at what talents you got. Yeah, you're getting the Ag, so you kind of have to get the Viper Strike DPS. Nethertoxin silences, that's really good. For 15... Corrosive Skin stats is really good. But I'm also thinking, like, you're kind of the tower hitter, so maybe you want the attack range. I don't know. I think 6 corrosive stats okay. Getting E-Blade, cool. Even just getting the casual Ghost Scepter instead of the bots would have been really good too. Again, just so that you can't get Juggernaut ulted. Oh, but more than that, buyback. Do you have it yet? No. Ulted him. I like that. That's good. Ult him. Ult him. Ult him. Ult him. Ult him. Ult anyone. A little late. Ooh, and this guy didn't have buyback because of earlier. And it is Bristleback. So that's where this is coming into play, I see. You managed to get a kill, which gave you enough. But you almost didn't have enough. So here's how you guys should have closed it out. Like I said, you do all that, you solidify your game control, and then just keep playing this bottom half of the map. Let the creep wave push in, chip this thing away ever so slowly. I don't care what you have to do, right? If you can get the pickoffs and just take it, go for it. If not, just like force them to always be here. And top and mid will always push in because you have racks. Well, mid will be even a bit, but Zeus can use Nimbus or something to help you out. And just like slowly chip away this bottom racks by constantly being down here. And then getting Roshan when that's up, so on, so on. It looks like that might be it for you guys. Oh. Oh, no. Yeah. So, I think that looks like it on the end of the game. Let's take a look at the stats real quick. Let's see. Yeah, it's a long video as per usual. I apologize to everyone for being such a rambly guy. Oh no, I think the game's crashing. That might be it for the recording, boyos. Alright, the game crashed. So, I'm back now. The game ended. We managed to see up till then. So, what did I say I wanted to do? Okay, let's take a look at stats. Healing. Okay, Dazzle did manage to heal more, but, you see how much that is? You did target it a couple times, so I know you knew to do that. What else I want to take a look at? I want to take a look at grass. Let's see what I was saying. So the game also thinks you should be winning up to here, and you guys kind of were. Then you threw a bit, but then you had like your 10. These are like the 10 and 10 minutes I was talking about, which they then threw again, and then you guys threw again at the end. So what happened there? Let's round it. Let's summarize up what happened. Your laning could have gone better. You didn't abuse the Invoker enough and his lack of regen. The fact that you bought tangos and then you didn't really use them enough. A couple like overly optimistic uses of Nethertoxin, keeping your mana pool low and then being unable to gank when you got a haste rune or invis rune. And actually the invis rune, I think you had enough mana, but you went for Invoker instead of like going top. But just like those two small things alone, a bit closer mana management, and shoot, what did I just say? Whatever I said first in this video just now. Oh yeah, the aggressive part. That would have made the game a lot easier for you because Invoker would be further behind, you would be further ahead, and then I think it would feel a lot more natural. Like you would feel stronger, and because of that, I think you would naturally push towers more instead of like feeling you needed to farm up more. And then after that, like that's all you need to focus on really. If you focus on anything, focus on that part where I talked about positioning in lane, the level 1 Q him, walk up, all of that. Because everything else, you know, if you did better, everything else doesn't matter. But ultimately why you guys lost was because you didn't group enough, and then after like the throwings and somehow like still coming back, you guys didn't clear the creep wave, and you saw the effects of backdoor protection, which prevented you from getting that last racks because you guys didn't kill off the creep waves that were spawning. They pushed out the waves, and then after that you still had it, but you guys didn't like secure your advantage. You took all the racks and everything, but you didn't finish off both shrines. You didn't ward up on their side and de-ward all of their stuff. And then you let them get Roshan despite all 5 of you being up and being in the lead. And that ultimately led to your team, Dazzle and Bristleback, bought back when they really didn't need to. And then later you saw you guys got wiped, and then the rest of you tried to buy back, but you just didn't have a full team and lost off the back of that. And I think you guys got picked off when you guys weren't like together. I don't fully remember that part, but again, it doesn't like really matter. Like it shouldn't have gone to that stage. So yeah, hope that helped. Sorry it's so long, but I don't know. I'm hoping some people like that, because I also wish to find like really in-depth talkity videos like that, but then like I feel like a lot of stuff is like really short videos for carry players, and this kind of like long rambly stuff is like what's easiest for me to make, because it's just like what I think at the moment. So hopefully that helps. If not, let me know what I can improve, which is probably to talk less. But yeah, good luck.